Hello everyone and welcome back to Modded Minecraft with Nightdagger, episode 12. I have not done anything off camera, so logging back in where I left off. Just going to collect the refined iron that I had up here last episode. Put all that stuff away. Maybe do a little bit of inventory sorting real quick. Get rid of the glass. Get rid of the extra cable, the extra iron fences, the circuit, the rubber, and the rest of it I think we'll keep on us. Maybe get rid of the empty cells, at least for the moment. Yeah. We'll need that stuff again soon, but for right now, let's head back to our Nexus. Let's go back to our IC2 machine room. And over here, we have our centrifuge, our industrial centrifuge. Awesome Gregtech toy. I've decided I don't want it here. Nope. I'm going to put it somewhere else. Where am I going to put it? I'm going to put it up here. I have an entire room up here, well beyond the IC2 power room. As a matter of fact, it's right up here, that I created specifically for Gregtech toys. So this is where I'm going to put my Gregtech toys. In order to do that, I am going to have to run a power line, which means I'm going to need my trusty electric jetpack. I'm also going to need my scaffolding. And, let's go ahead and fly over here. Still kind of finicky. There we go. Tear a hole through the wall there. And let's go ahead and come over here. And let's tear holes in the floor where we want to have our machines. What I'm figuring I'm going to do is I'm going to have my centrifuge probably just sitting right here next to the door. Eventually I'm going to have 3 or 4 centrifuges. I may even line this entire wall with centrifuges at some point. As a matter of fact, let's just put it over here in the corner. So we're going to have a line of centrifuges that are going to run over here. We'll set up for 5 of them at the moment. And we're going to need to get a couple of devices here, because remember that an industrial centrifuge can only run on low voltage current. Why did I crash? Well, that was weird. For some reason, when I went to click on my warehouse, I crashed. Not exactly sure what happened. Anyway, what was I doing? I need to get a couple of toys from Industrial Craft. I am going to need an electronic circuit for this. I'm going to need a machine block. I'm going to need 3 pieces of copper. And I'm going to need a handful of wood. In order to transform the circuit, or transform the current down into low voltage, I'm going to need a medium voltage transformer. I actually don't need the 4x HV. I'm also going to need a low voltage transformer, which you get like so. Let's see here. We're also going to want to get a link book. So let's go to Miscraft, get a book. We'll head up to our IC2 power room, because that's the closest room we have to the new one. And standing right here, we will make the link book. Over here, we're going to drop down, get back up on our scaffolding, and continue a little bit of work out here. We need to come out here far enough to find our power connection, which we're going to bring over here. And this line is going to be a dedicated low voltage line, so we will connect our transformer like so. And then none of the Gregtech machines we're going to put in here will support high voltage, so our line that we're going to have coming in from the transformer there, this is going to be a dedicated medium voltage line. It's going to be easiest for me to put that transformer out here. So for right now, because I am going to have to get back out here, I don't want to connect this quite yet. Let's fly over here. Oh. And let's just go ahead and run a little bit of cabling up, and let's take one off the side here. I may end up having to show off one of the abilities of the jetpack here in the very near future. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to do that. If you hold down your mode switch key and jump, you'll enable hover mode, which reduces the amount of power required, if I remember correctly, but it also reduces the amount of speed that you get. We'll hover up here, drop down there, and on the end of this we're going to put our medium voltage transformer, but we're going to have to hop over here to do it. No. There we go. We'll put our medium voltage transformer there, and we're going to have the power line connecting right here. Just like that. Alright, so fly back over to here. We'll tear this one out for the moment. And we'll fly back up here. Now along this wall, I'm going to have some medium voltage stuff, and then over here I'm going to have a few more things. We'll get to those in the future. But for right now, all I'm going to need is a single medium voltage line coming out right here. Don't ask me why I tore 2 holes in the floor for 1 medium voltage line. I don't know. I'm being slightly distracted by kittens. That's my excuse. Alright, let's find our connection over here. There it is. And let's run a power line from there. And we're going to run this through the center line. We'll tear out the scaffold as we go because we're done out here for the moment. And we'll tear out this scaffold too. We don't need it anymore. And right here we're going to have a connection. And this connection here, I actually don't know how I want to do this. This will be fine for now. We'll just connect it like that. Plug the hole. Tear out the scaffolding, and fly over here, where we're going to recharge our electric wrench. We don't really need it, but we're going to do it right now anyway. Alright, so we've got an MFSU here, or an MFSU here. We need to get some power going to this thing. Now, there's a couple of different sources that I could use for power here. I could just use generators, or I could use the next step up, which is geothermal power. I'm thinking I might go geothermal as a short-term solution just to get some power going into this thing. Geothermal power is quick, it's cheap, it's easy. This is not where I want it to end up. This is where I want it to end up. To make a geothermal generator, you have to have some glass, some empty cells, some refined iron, and some generators. Well, we have all that. We got our glass right here. We need 8 panes. We have our cells right here. We need 4 cells. We need 4 refined iron. And if we do that, and that, and that, and that, it gets us 2 geothermal generators. Let us head back up to, well, let's head back to the Nexus first. Let's change the properties of our linking book. We're going to call this Gregtech. We'll make him an interlinking following just like everything else. Pop him on his own little book stand here. And let's head back to our Gregtech room, where we're going to pop down our industrial centrifuge, just like that, and our industrial electrolyzer right there. For right now, I'm just going to cobble that off. Seems appropriate. I had 4 cobble on me. Alright, now, this industrial electrolyzer, we'll get to that in a little bit. It requires quite a bit of power to do anything, and we currently have like almost none. So, let's head back to our IC2 power room. And for right now, as a temporary solution, I'm just going to put the geothermals on either side of the MFSU. That'll work. Oops. Got turned around. It's hard to concentrate on recording a video when you're hearing kittens squalling. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but they are too cute for words. However, they're also very loud. Let's put our dirt away. And we're going to grab just 1.5 tons of tin here. Because we're going to make a bunch of empty cells. Oops. There we go. Bunch of empty cells. We're actually not going to keep the bronze chest plate on us at the moment. Let's see. We are going to go pump the Nether. In order to do that, what we are going to take with us is we are going to take some thermal expansion conduit, if I have any. Yep, I have some. We're going to take a pump, which I don't believe I have one of those at the moment, so I'll have to make one real quick. Let's go ahead and get our iron gear requested. And we'll gather up the rest of the stuff we need. We need 9 iron, piece of redstone, 2 sticks, and 8 glass. Spider just killed itself by climbing up the wall trying to get at me. Stupid spider. Oh, hi Gizmo. You want to come play with me? Come here, Giz. Alright, mining well with a tank on top of it gives you a pump. And we're also going to want to make ourselves another liquid transposer. A liquid transposer is made using a couple pieces of copper, a machine frame, we remember how to make those, some glass, a bucket, and a redstone reception coil. Well, we need 5 pieces of iron, 2 pieces of gold, 2 pieces of redstone, 2 pieces of copper, a handful of glass, and a bucket. Machine frame is like this. The reception coil is like this. Glass like that. Copper like that. Bucket up there gives us a liquid transposer. Hey, that's my headphone cable, you little rat. And let's come over here to our tool chest. We'll grab our Buildcraft wrench back. Let's head up to our BC charging center, where we're going to grab ourselves a redstone energy cell. I have a kitten gnawing on my leg. Hey. You should go gnaw on one of your sisters. Back to the warehouse one final time. Okay. You go get them. Alright, I need to grab another book. And yeah, we'll just do it using this for now. I'm going to pop into the Nether. Now, I do still have my jetpack with me, and it's still set in hover mode, as you can see. Let's bust our way out of the safe zone. Pop that back in there. And it just occurred to me that I don't have a redstone liquid conduit. Always forgetting something. I'm also going to want some cobblestone as building material. Alright, so we got the cobblestone, I got my jetpack, it's still half full, that should be plenty. I got this redstone cell, I need some liquid conduits. Liquid ducts. Now we should be okay to go to the Nether. Whoa, hello. Got a little crazy there. Let's head out here and see what kind of nastiness we can encounter. Well, quite a bit of it initially. What we're looking for is we're looking for the Great Lava Sea. Shouldn't be too hard to find, because it's literally everywhere. This, however, is more of a lava pool than a lava sea. This over here is the Great Lava Sea. Let's drop down here. Let's fly over to here. And off of here, I'm going to make myself kind of a cobblestone bridge. Cobblestone, because ghasts can't break it. Yeah, that puts me out close enough to the middle. We'll go 3 in each direction. That'll give us 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hi, Gizmo. And did I really only bring 1 thing of cobblestone? I'm an idiot sometimes. Okay, regardless. Ow! Ow, ow, ow. Hi. I'm going to stand right here. I'm going to make myself a linking book. And I'm going to teleport back to my nexus. And we're going to wait for the lag to catch up a little bit. It takes a minute when coming out of the Nether. We're going to rename this as Lava Station. And we're going to put it over here, I think. There we go. Let's head back to the warehouse. Grab a few more stacks of cobble. We're definitely going to need some. Come on. Back to the lava station, where we will finish this construction. Right here is where we're going to put our pump. Just pop it on there, just like that. We're going to have a liquid duct coming out of the pump. I think I'm going to have it go this way, into our liquid transposer. If we look at the liquid transposer, blue, which is this here, is on the left-hand side, which is exactly where we want it. We're going to connect redstone energy cells to the backs of these, just like that. And then on the back here, We're going to have a little thing just like that. This is where we're going to put our redstone energy cell. We're going to put a stack of cells in there. And let's pop down the redstone energy cell and see what happens. As soon as we set this thing to output mode, hey, we are getting a ton of lava. And we're not draining power terribly fast. We were at first, but now we're only pulling enough power to basically maintain the liquid transposer. We're pulling about 4 Minecraft joules a tick. While this thing runs, we're actually going to make this just a little safer, because I have a tendency to derp off the edge when I'm in the Nether, especially when I have cats trying to climb my leg. I also don't know how fragile these pumps and redstone energy cells are. I don't want them to take a direct hit from a ghast. So I'm actually going to make this a full-on cobblestone crap box. Put the roof on from the inside. No. And by now, we should be getting pretty low on our empty cells, so we're going to want to take those out and just refill that thing there, just like that. And we'll go about fixing this. Break that. Now, here is the nice thing about doing this the way we're doing it. Once I get this thing completely locked in like this, I can actually block this entrance off too, because we're using a Mistcraft book to get in here. We don't need any silly nonsense with doors. Let's go ahead and take these cells with us. And we can't leave this to run at the moment because we do not have a chunk loader here. We'll have to correct that. We'll have to go get us a world anchor. For right now, though, what I'm going to do is if you come over to here and you click like that, that's going to set this thing to input mode. It's not going to output any energy while it's in input mode, which effectively is going to shut this machine off. It's also going to shut off the pump. So the pump here is going to pump out its residual buffer worth of lava, at which point this thing is going to run out of lava, meaning we can leave this and come back later. And one more, I think. That's good enough. Back to the Nexus. Wait for frame rate stabilization. There we go. Back to our IC2 power room, where we're going to split up the cells between these two geothermal generators and start getting some power going into this thing. Let's go put the rest of this stuff away real quick. We'll just dump all the cells into the industrial craft chest. Put away the glass. This extra piece of iron that I have for some reason. Once again, forgetting the fact that I have a sorting system now. Put away the thermal expansion stuff. And let's go play around a little bit with our new toy, the industrial electrolyzer, shall we? Let's see. One of the first recipes that I want to use with this industrial electrolyzer if you click on the arrows here to pull up the recipe list, you can see we've got a bunch of recipes here, and they all use some sort of empty cell, bone meal. Sometimes it uses something else here. Saltpeter, carbon. That gets you aluminum, calcium. Pyrite breaks down into iron and sulfur. Calcite. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's added by Gregtech. One of the first things that I want to focus on, though, is I have a bunch of sodalite. Or not sodalite. What is that stuff? Sheldonite. Well, if we look at the uses for sheldonite, you'll see that you can smelt it directly into platinum. Or you can macerate it down into 2 platinum dust, which then cooks into 2 platinum. That shouldn't be a surprise. What might be a surprise is that there's another recipe here using something called an industrial grinder. We don't have that yet. We're getting there. The industrial grinder requires a lot more stuff than we're ready to invest. But you can see that gets you platinum dust, it also gets you nickel dust, and it gets you iridium, which is always a good thing. Now that consumes water cells. However, there's a second recipe that consumes something called a mercury cell. That gets you 12 platinum dust, effectively 3 platinum dust per ore, 4 nickel dust, still gets you the iridium. So this is the recipe we want to use. How do you get this mercury stuff? Well, you get it through the industrial centrifuge. Specifically, by centrifuging redstone. You can also electrolyze. Let's see, industrial centrifuge. Yep, we could centrifuge redstone, and that'll get us 20 mercury cells. It'll also get us some silicon, some pyrites, and some ruby dust. Or you can use cinnabar in an industrial electrolyzer. It only takes 5 seconds, pulls about 12,000 EU, and that gets you 1 mercury cell for each one. It also gets you a little bit of sulfur. Well, I have cinnabar. How do you get cinnabar dust? Let's see. You can macerate cinnabar ore to get 5 cinnabar dust. Or you can grind it and get some extra stuff, but we don't have a grinder yet. You can use a rock crusher, whatever. Point is, we have cinnabar. We have cinnabar that we have been waiting to use for something. It's actually sitting right in here. We have quite a bit of cinnabar, actually. It's time to actually put some of our IC2 machines to use. Macerator here, take cinnabar. It's going to start processing up. I hope. Is that a different type of cinnabar? Uses, oh, this is the type of cinnabar that goes down into quicksilver. Wrong type of cinnabar. The cinnabar ore that we need, when you break it, it actually just comes right down into the dust, doesn't it? Yeah. We probably have some of that laying around, though, from the dense ore worlds we've gone to. This cinnabar ore just turns into quicksilver. It's relatively useless to us. Let's check our dust chest. Oh yeah, we have some cinnabar. It's right here. Got 12 pieces of it. We'll have to get some more of that in the near future. Let's head back to our Gregtech room. And let's toss that cinnabar in the industrial electrolyzer. This, however, does nothing without empty cells. Once again, forgetting something. Back to Gregtech. And when we pop the empty cells in there, it's going to start working. It's only going to take 5 seconds to process 1 dust. Well, 2 dust. And that's going to give us some mercury. It's also going to give us some sulfur. Sulfur, if you know anything about basic chemistry, is basically used just to make gunpowder. Same holds true in Gregtech. You look at the uses for sulfur dust, making gunpowder. Making gunpowder. Making gunpowder, you can make fertilizer out of it. You can also make sodium persulfate, whatever the hell that stuff is. What's that used for, I wonder? Oh, you can extract it. You can use it as... Oh, you can use it as a bonus factor in grinding copper ore to get you extra stuff. And tin... Ooh, tin actually gets you, well, zinc, which is relatively useless as far as I know. Gold gives you bonus copper and some nickel, that's nice. Sphalerite gives you, well, sphalerite I haven't really found a good use for. Anyway, we got 6 mercury cells and 6 sulfur cells out of the dust that we got. Let's take a look and see what's required to make that industrial grinder. Well, the industrial grinder is a pump, an industrial electrolyzer, which we just got done making one of those, an advanced machine block, not too hard to get that, 3 advanced circuits, and 3 of these diamond grinders. Now these diamond grinders require diamond dust, diamonds, and steel. You get 2 per, so you have to actually make 2 sets of these in order to make 1 grinder. Let's go ahead and get started on that, because we are going to want a grinder and we're going to want it soon. Now, I'm specifically not telling you guys something that I know, but we'll get to it in a bit. I'm going to head back to my industrial craft room, where I'm going to throw 8 diamonds in the macerator, and that's going to start getting us some diamond dust, which we're going to need to make those grinding wheels. Back to the warehouse, and if you remember the recipe from yesterday, we are going to need some more refined iron, so I may as well start cooking it up now. Just so happens, I still have coal in these furnaces. I knew I was leaving it in there for a reason. Alright, and we are going to need some more cable, I'm pretty sure. We already have the carbon plates in the advanced alloy there. We're going to need some circuits. We're going to need a couple of these fences. The first step to doing this is we're going to need a total of 3 machine blocks. First machine block we are going to turn into a magnetizer. The recipe for that was redstone, iron fence. Wasn't it? Oh, almost right. There we go. Magnetizer. Step 1, done. The second part was an electrolyzer, which takes basically just 20 pieces of wood. Or an extractor, rather. Machine block, circuit, tree tap, tree tap, tree tap, tree tap, gets you an extractor. The third part was the electrolyzer. Let's double check the recipe here. Extractor, electrolyzer, magnetizer, yep. So we need to make an electrolyzer, which is circuits, some empty cells, we got a ton of those now. Machine block, cable, circuits, cells, gets you the electrolyzer, and then we need 2 advanced circuits. Let's see here. I have 1 extra circuit in there. I'm going to make just a handful more copper wire real quick. Throw that in the industrial craft chest, and we're going to request just 1 electronic circuit. Missing 1 refined iron. That figures. Boink. Actually, I have to put at least 2 in there for this thing to see it. There we go. Request 1 electronic circuit. While that runs, we need to get 2 lapis, 2 glowstone, and 4 electrum. Lapis, glowstone, circuit in the middle, electrum all around, gets you 2 advanced circuits. And if I remember right, it was magnetizer on the bottom, electrolyzer in the middle, extractor on the top, gets you the industrial electrolyzer. The industrial grinder takes that, it also takes a pump. An IC2 pump is made with a machine block, a circuit, a tree tap, some empty cells, and some mining pipe. So let's get the tree tap first, that's the easy part. There's a reason why I'm pulling more wood and making 2 tree taps. So if I remember right, mining pipe is made... Let's check this out again. Mining pipe, oh yeah. Mining pipe is 6 refined iron with a tree tap in the middle. This is going to require a circuit. Well, it made us a spare one. So we got that. It's going to require 4 cells. We can get those. Cells, I got to make the machine block first. Okay, machine block, circuit, cells, mining pipe, gets us a pump. It's also going to require an advanced machine block. Well, we have the components for that. I know for a fact I'm going to need more copper cable, so I'm just going to whip some up real quick. Complex builds. Throw that away too. Let's come up here and check on our diamond dust. That's what we need. Back down into here, we take our steel, we put our diamonds in the middle, and we put our diamond dust like that. That's going to get us those diamond grinders that we need. Grab some refined iron out of here. That's going to get us a machine block. Combine that with 2 carbon plates and 2 advanced alloy to get the advanced machine block. And we need 3 advanced circuits, so let's request 2 circuits. Missing refined iron, of course. Over here, we're going to grab 4 of you, 4 of you, and 8 of you. Starting to run low on electrum. We're going to have to do something about that soon. And just do it like that. The industrial grinder recipe is circuit, 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 grinder, 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 industrial electrolyzer, pump, machine block. Gets us the industrial grinder. Let's go ahead and take this guy upstairs and hook him up to power. And we're just going to, for right now, set him right next to the electrolyzer. I realize there's no power there. I'm getting to that. Incomplete machine casing. Well, see, that would be a problem, wouldn't it? This, you can break it with a pickaxe, by the way. This is a multi-block machine. Multi-block machines are pretty much the bane of our existence because it requires machine casings. And machine casings are relatively expensive. That gets you 4 machine casings. We need 18 of these. We also need 8 of these I got some resource collection to do because we ain't got the steel to make this. So, we have the industrial grinder, but we can't use it yet. That is coming up in a future episode. This has been Nightdagger with Let's Play Mod of Minecraft episode 12. I'm going to be doing some mining off camera here. I might actually do the mining tomorrow night during a live stream because I'm thinking I'm probably going to want to go into a dense ore world for it. And people seem to like the dense ore worlds, so might show off a little bit of that on camera. Catch me tomorrow night, probably about 10 Eastern is when I might be thinking about doing it. I know I can't do it tonight because I got to go to work tomorrow, but yeah, I'll probably do it on a live stream, do some resource collection, and then episode 13, maybe we can actually get around to actually putting this stupid thing to some use. So, I'll catch you guys later.